Now we're going to talk about objects, and I want you to really pay close attention to this very important concept in FlexiSIGN. I'm going to draw a few things on the screen here. Alright, let's draw a little rectangle. Well, we don't want to draw that in white, do we? Good deal. Let's paint that there like that. Okay. Let's draw this, and we'll draw this, okay? Alright. Now, if I were to ask you what this thing is right here, what would you say? Say it out loud. Right, a star. Well, from now on, that's going to be the wrong answer. That's right, because every one of these things right here on the screen are the same thing. In FlexiSIGN, these are called objects. Objects. Now, whenever I ask you something, when I say, what is this, your answer is going to be an object. So I want you to say it right now. Practice. Nobody's around. Come on. What is this right here? Good. An object. Excellent. Now, let's see what an object actually is. I'm going to turn off the background back here so it just gets out of our way. Look at this. This is a rectangle object, obviously. And if you look at Design Central, Design Central goes to the place in the database that defines this particular object. It defines how long it is, how tall it is, and it tells you more options about this particular object. For instance, the corners are rounded. And you can see that right here. It says rounded. Now if I switch that, I can change it, and you can see on the screen here I've changed the way it looks. Now that doesn't look like a rectangle object, but that's how it's defined. It's defined as a rectangular object. So we have to be careful about this because this is very, very important concept. Take a look at this one. Okay? Even though it's an arrow, you can see that it's an object because it has all the different values. And again, you can change the size of things, you can move this different directions, you can change the width here and there. Totally up to you to change these things. Now, here's the real concept, okay? This is an object, and I'm going to paint it red, and I'm going to go to a special menu up here called Effects. Now, I'm going to add an effect to this object. In this case, I'm going to add a shadow. And to make it really easy to understand, in Design Central, I'm going to change this to a cast shadow. And let's change the color of that. And we'll apply it. Now, take a look at this thing here, okay? What do we have? What is this? Remember, your answer is supposed to be an object. That's correct. And how many? No, not two. Not two objects. Just one object. This is the actual object. This is an effect. It's different. Now we're going to prove that, okay? Let's go into a special tool here. Let's say that our customer wants us to change the number of points on the object. Well, we don't want to have to redo the shadow over and over again. So here's a special tool. Use that right mouse button and choose Select Within. Now notice in Design Central it's blank. And if I let my mouse move over the top of different parts of this object, I'm going to choose the piece that I want to change. And that's right here, this red star. I'm going to click right on it. And notice that it goes to that part of the database. So now when I make a change, let's say I change the number of points to 6, 7, or 8, notice what the shadow is doing. It's changing automatically. Everything that I do to my basic object over here, it's changing all of the effects automatically. I don't have to worry about this part. I just need to change the part I want to make changes to. Now, you think you might have that concept, but let's do a new file here and let's do a different example. Okay? Let's draw this. Oh, I've got that thing set again. Let me just reset my defaults here. By the way, if that happens to you, you see how the Fill Stroke Editor here has white in it, and it's also white down here? Just take a color and drop it into your Fill Stroke Editor, like that. Choose any other icon, and that's now reset to that default color. So in the future, when I try to make something, it's going to be set to that color. Anyway, I've got these two objects right here, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay? And let's move this right up here. I've got two on top of each other, and I'm going to go to wireframe. That's this little box down here. Now, if we're vinyl cutting and we want to cut those two objects, what we need to do is weld them together, right? So where's the weld command? I'm giving you a chance to answer here. Where's the weld command? Okay, you're saying it's up here in the Arrange menu or maybe in the Effects menu or something like that. That may be true. But a faster way is let that mouse go over the top of one of these pieces. You see how it changes the cursor? Then right mouse button, guess what? It's probably in the short menu, and in fact, it is. Here's the weld right here. Let's weld those two together. Very good. Okay, now what is this? That's right, it's an object. And how many? No, not one. It's two objects. You see, we remember how we drew this. We drew the star, and then we drew this. Those were both objects. The weld is just an effect. In fact, we can prove that. Right mouse button, select within, and click on the part you want to change. I want to change the star shape, so we're going to click on it. See how it comes right back? Go to Design Central, change the points, move it wherever you need to. What's it doing? It's just welding right back in. You see, the idea is that an object, this is the power of objects. I don't have to worry about the effects, just change the object itself. Alright, one last example here, okay, and this one's a little more practical. Let's type some text in, okay, and we'll make that text, a little bit bigger than that. Let's type in something like this, okay. And I'm going to go over here to my scripts, and I think I've got a brush script in here somewhere. Yeah, here's a nice brush script right here. Okay, and let's look at this thing. I'm going to zoom it up, and we're going to also go to wireframe here. And you see how that kind of has a little overlap right there? We don't want to cut that in vinyl, so what do we need to do? We need to weld it together. And the weld command is where? That's right, right mouse button. Right mouse button, weld. Good, it's welded together like that. Very, very good. Now, watch this now. I'm going to take this graphic, let's paint it red, and let's add an outline around it like, we're going to add an outline in some other color like this lime green, and we're also going to add a shadow behind that. Let's do a little block shadow back here, just a little one, you know. And let's also distort this dude, okay? Go up here to distortions and click that big button, and it'll give you distortions, and let's change it like this. You see, this is the way we can change that distortion. For you more advanced students, by the way, I'm going to hold the control key down. I can just move one side. Cool, huh? Anyway, so let's just do that and make it distorted. Now, what do we have here? That's right, it's an object. And how many? Well, good. Some of you have said one. Technically, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we'll allow one. That's fine. So what we're asking you is, can we change the font style? Sure. Right mouse button, select within if you want to. Wait till it just click right on text right there. See how it looks like text? Go to your text menu over here and choose a new font style if you want to. Doesn't matter what it is. Choose something totally different. And guess what? It totally updates itself automatically. See, you didn't have to worry about the outline, the shadow, and all that. It's done. That's the power of objects. I mean, if we want to change the little outline right here, no problem. Select within, go right to that little outline right there, right to the outline. You know, that's the shadow. You know, and notice here, I want you to see something. Okay, as I'm getting closer down here, see how it just kind of gave me that little helper right there. I can go right to the outline and change that outline to any value that I want up. You know, if I want to make it thicker, make it thicker. I want to make it thinner, make it thinner, something like that, you know. I mean, it's easy for me to change this object and to change all the effects on that object as long as I can select within. I got there by clicking the right mouse button, remember that, and choosing Select Within. Objects are a very powerful design tool. Everything in Flexi is an object. Remember that. And every time you work with objects, you're going to work with it using Design Central. Right-click, select within, choose the part of the object you want to change, go to Design Central, change that part of the object that you're working on to anything that you like, whatever, you know, font style that you're working in and so forth, and the thing is done. That is the power of objects. Now remember that. Repeat this lesson as many times as needed until you absolutely have it mastered, because it's one of the most important concepts in FlexiSIGN. All right, good deal. Let's move on to our next lesson.